Chapter 270. Fury in the Sky. HMA My Intention. Suddenly, Kang Chon's complexion was stunned as a look of excitement emanated from his eyes. How could my intentions have risen so much all of a sudden? Surprisingly, it has already crossed over to the 10% realm, and it's just short of comprehending the will. Could this be because of that inheritance? Feeling his powerful intent, Kang Chon was both surprised and puzzled. It was hard to imagine that an intent that was only at the 70% realm before it reached the 10th realm all of a sudden. In the end, Kang Chon attributed this to the inheritance. After all, that terrifying inheritance had a very good effect on will honing. Perhaps that was when he was promoted. It was just that his entire mind was on the inheritance at that time, so he didn't pay attention to it. Kang Chon explained this to himself in his mind, because apart from this answer, he really couldn't think of a reason. After all, he had already fainted long ago, when the purple-haired middle-aged man appeared. I wonder how much time has passed. Little Jin and the others should be very anxious, so it's better to hurry up and leave. Kang Chon was ready to leave after checking his entire body. Senior Force God. Before leaving, Kang Chon called out a few times to the empty hall. However, there was only his echo in the hall, no voice from the void. It seems that the last remnant of Senior Force God's soul also dissipated during the inheritance. This grace of passing on the power, I am destined to not be able to repay it in this life. Kang Chon sighed and suddenly knelt down on both knees, paying 3 obeisances to the front of the palace. After receiving the complete inheritance, he already knew the true identity of the void, which was a deity from the ancient times, the Force God. Now, since he had received the inheritance of the Power God, he was considered a disciple of the Power God, so naturally, he had to perform the ritual of worshipping his master. Master, I will definitely make the 9 turns Zhuanggong famous in the cultivation world and live up to your hopes. After Kang Chon made 3 obeisances, he once again took a deep look at the Dark Palace and walked towards the outside of the palace. Outside the palace of the Power God, Demon Heaven had almost single-handedly suppressed the 3 of them, the 3rd Prince of the Dragon, Brahma Heart, and Little Gold, and had an absolute upper hand. And his might was indescribable in words, shocking everyone watching the battle to the extreme. Heavenly Devil 7 Transformations was a very powerful divine ability. In Devil Sky's body was even more extreme power. He was 7 in 1. Besieging the 3rd Prince of the Dragon and Brahma Heart to people, beating them only the power to fight without the power to fight back. On the other hand, the Devil Blade broke through the air, blazing blade awnings across the sky. Xiaojin swung the fighting fist with both fists, but he was also chopped all over his body. The situation was very critical. This is a true young supreme. I'm afraid that not only in the spirit sealing space, even in the entire cultivation world, how many people would be able to compete with him amongst the same level? The crowd was very shocked in their hearts. Devil Sky was too powerful. This was a supreme pride, destined to become the overlord of the cultivation world. In the future, the entire cultivation world would be shaken because of a single word from him, and he might even be able to fight all over the cultivation world without an opponent. This was not an exaggeration. In the past cultivation world, every time a special bloodline came out, it would become the strongest cultivator of the world. This kind of special bloodline possessor, once they advance to the Mahayana stage, they are the strongest people on the Flood continent, especially the heavenly demon body, which was known as one of the 10 strongest special bloodlines in the cultivation world. In the past, the supreme geniuses who possessed the heavenly demon body not only ended up becoming invincible characters, but also suppressed the entire cultivation world with their own power, making everyone bow at his feet. Some of the major sects of the righteous path knew this situation very well, and there were even ancient texts that recorded that when the heavenly demon body came out, many powerful people of the righteous path assassinated it, but unfortunately they were unsuccessful. allowing that heavenly demon body to successfully advance to the Mahayana stage. Since then, the righteousness of the road was plunged into an absolute dark period, including the first sect of the righteousness of the heavenly Taoist sect have suffered a tragic trauma, can only be incognito, living in seclusion overseas until the body of the heavenly devil ascended to the heavenly realm, only then dared to come back to the flood continent. Of course, in this world, all kinds of special bloodlines appeared. Even the top 10 special bloodlines appeared. Even if Devil Heaven possessed the heavenly demon body, it was impossible to sweep all the special bloodline possessors. But this definitely did not prevent him from becoming one of the strongest in the world. It could be imagined that this was a glorious great world, with all kinds of bloodlines appearing and countless geniuses battling it out. It was definitely in the limelight. Rumble. Just as the crowd sighed at the boundless future of Devil Heaven, a violent vibration came, and when they sniffed, they were filled with astonishment. The mysterious dark golden palace suddenly shook, and then the sturdy stone door slowly opened, revealing a dark world inside. "What's going on?" The door opened. Everyone was shocked. Countless lines of sight converged. The gazes of the crowd were instantly attracted to the Power God Palace. It was impossible for them to forget the purpose of their arrival here. Now that the door was open, it meant that they could go in and seize the treasure. In an instant, everyone's eyes sizzled and their breath caught. "Brother!" A cry of alarm filled with hope rang out. In midair, Xiaojin's face was full of surprise as he hardened himself against the strike of the demonic knife, and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood, then took advantage of the shocking force of the demonic knife and headed towards the inside of the open palace. ********. Behind him, the magic knife broke through the air, exuding unrivaled might, and a knife came down, as if it was divine punishment, splitting Xiaojin straight. Many invincible powerhouses who want to go and see this scene, they cannot help but stop their feet. The magic knife might is too strong. Now entering the palace is simply looking for death. Little Gold, be careful. Anxious roars of the third prince of the dragon and Brahma heart came from the sky. They saw that the might of the demon blade was unrivaled. If this strike was struck, it would be almost as bad if they didn't die. However, at this moment, Little Jin simply ignored them. His entire heart was within the Power God Hall. His eyes filled with a hopeful light. Even when he felt the terrifying aura coming from behind him, he didn't pay the slightest attention to it. The third prince of the dragon and Brahma heart were instantly anxious. Someone who is about to die. How dare you be distracted? Humph. A cold snort traveled into the ears of the third prince of the dragon and Brahma heart, and their faces instantly changed, only to see a world-defying demonic body, suppressing them, its matchless might causing them to nearly suffocate. The two immediately didn't dare to be distracted, and continued to join forces to fend off Demon Heaven's attack. At this moment, Little Jin's figure had already arrived in front of the Force God Temple's main door, yet the demonic blade was also even closer to him. People were almost about to see the scene of Little Jin being cut into by the blade, and they all couldn't help but close their breaths. "Brother, I don't believe you're dead. The last generation of Cangtian hegemony blood could sweep the cultivation world. You can do it too." Little Jin thought with hope in his heart as he stepped into the palace with one foot. Da da da. Right at this moment, a heavy sound of footsteps came from within the palace, as if it was stepping on top of people's souls, causing many people's faces to change, feeling their heartbeat speed up, and some of those with weak cultivation even vomited blood. All of them were instantly horrified as they looked within that dark palace, where a pair of violet eyes slowly appeared. That icy cold gaze, sweeping across, causing each of them to be frightened and feel a chill on their backs. Swish, at the same time, the demonic blade slashed straight down with unrivaled might, chopping towards Little Gold's head. However, Little Jin didn't care in the slightest at the moment, as he looked in surprise at the familiar silhouette that stepped out of the palace and excitedly yelled, "Brother! Cangtian, who was dressed in a purple robe, did not have the slightest change in appearance. But the aura on his body was very different from before, and the entire person emitted a palpitating aura. His eyes flashed with purple light, his stern eyes swept out, and when he saw Xiaojin, who was covered in blood, his eyes instantly condensed. And then, when he saw the black demonic knife that descended from the sky, he was even more furious as it erupted from his body. Swish! Almost instantly, Kang Chon's figure disappeared, and in the next moment appeared behind Xiaojin, and he probed out with one hand, grabbing the black magic knife that came through the air. Boom! The might of the demonic blade erupted. The blade blazed like the sun. However, it was easily suppressed by Kang Chon. Only the body of the blade trembled unceasingly, unable to break free. Wow! A cry of shock came from afar. Everyone stared wide-eyed, their faces full of disbelief, as they saw Kang Chon suppress the demonic blade with a single hand. This kind of might shook the heart and soul. Brother Dao, Brother Kang Chon. In the sky, the third prince of the dragon and Fan Xin were filled with surprise. The intense battle was instantly interrupted, and Demon Heaven frowned as he sensed that his demon blade was being suppressed, and instantly didn't bother to pay attention to the third prince of the dragon and Brahma heart. His powerful will instantly went out of his body, using his god to control the blade, causing the demon blade in Kang Chon's hand to erupt into an even more terrifying might. Will out of body, with the god imperial sword, can kill the enemy thousands of miles away. Devil Heaven was controlling his devil blade at this very moment, preparing to rush out of Kang Chon's hand, and then kill Kang Chon. Under the full force of Devil Heaven's catalysing, the devil blade in Kang Chon's hand erupted with a blazing light, and a boundless devilish aura penetrated through it like it was trying to devour everything. HMPH. Kang Chon's eyes instantly condensed. He snorted coldly. His body instantly erupted with terrifying power. That palm was like a huge mountain, deadening the magic blade, making it unable to move not a bit. In the sky, Devil Sky's pupils shrunk. His face changed instantly. His will was cut off. An even more powerful hegemonic aura rushed into the demonic blade, driving away his will. Under this unrivaled hegemonic aura, the demonic blade was instantly subdued and stopped trembling. Kang Tian. Devil Heaven roared. His entire body's battle intent exploded. His eyes were like electricity, looking straight at the Kang Heaven beyond the palace below. Everyone closed their breaths, as if an even more intense battle was about to begin. However, to everyone's surprise, Kang Chon paid no attention to the devil sky in the sky. His gaze worriedly looked towards Little Gold, who was covered in blood, and realized that Little Gold was only seriously injured, and his life wasn't in danger, which made him sigh in relief. However, he immediately became enraged and asked in a deep voice, "Little Gold, besides Demon Sky, who else is there?" Kang Chon could see that Xiaojin's injuries were not only from the attack of the demonic blade, but also from other trick attacks, almost dozens of them, which made him very angry. Obviously, Little Gold had been under siege not long ago. Kang Chon felt very angry in his heart. The once sunny Xiaojin was now appearing in front of him covered in blood, making him unable to stop his nose from turning sour, and the killing intent in his heart skyrocketed endlessly. Not good. Not far away, Windless, Demon Peak, and the other 20 or so peerless powerhouses heard Kang Chon's icy words, and their bodies were instantly stunned, their faces changing drastically. Little Gold glared at them with a face full of anger, and as Kang Chon followed his gaze, his eyes instantly turned cold, and his murderous aura erupted. Break the sky. Without any unnecessary nonsense, Kang Chon didn't care who these people were. He directly raised the demonic heaven's demonic blade and slashed towards Windless and the others. The terrifying blade aura instantly tore through the void, and the terrifying power devastated and swept out. Now that Kang Chon had broken through the shattering vacuum realm, between raising his hands and feet, He could possess the power to tear the void, and the speed of his attack had even reached an extreme, making it impossible for Windlass to dodge them. Shattering vacuum. Seeing the shattering of space, the eyes of Devil Sky in the sky shrank, his face full of shock. The third prince of the dragon and Fanxian were also shocked, and then their faces were filled with surprise. Not good, little brother. Devil Heaven immediately changed his face, because he found that his younger brother was also under Kang Chon's attack, and immediately his figure ****** came out, wanting to block Kang Chon's blade. But Kang Chon's attack directly tore through the void, and was so fast that he was unable to block it. Windlass and the others were filled with fear. Some even despaired. How could this blade be resisted?